You cannot now believe that you will ever feel better. But this is not true. You're sure to be happy again. And knowing this, truly believing it, will make you less miserable now. Abraham Lincoln. The obstacles in sexy hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazzuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past a new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real.
I left my mother, the best friend I had, was a man that took me. That's why I'm all in bed. Nobody gives me sympathy. That's the reason why I cry for me. Sitting all alone, I can see 1,000 miles away. Sitting all alone, I can see 1,000 miles away. I can see the man that made me what I am today. He has made me weep. He has made me moan and groan. He has made me weep. He has made me moan and groan. Took me from my home and left me all alone. Left my mother standing in the door. I left my mother standing in the door. With her hand on my head as her kiss fell to the floor. All my clothes is sewn, both the soles wore off my all my clothes is sewn, both the soles wore off my and my heart so cold that I've got them for
Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. Mary Fry. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Friedrich Nietzsche. Life is a mosaic of pleasure and pain. Grief is an interval between two moments of joy. Peace is the interlude between two wars. You have no rose without a thorn. The diligent picker will avoid the pricks and gather.
Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to this week's Sub Saturdays. This one's going to be a bit different, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a complete guide slash walkthrough slash let's play for the game Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, which has taken the internet by storm. It just blew up on Twitch, and it has been consuming my life for the past 2 weeks or so. You may have seen that I uploaded a video on this channel of me beating this game. That was my first time, and I beat it in about 13 hours. Since then, I beat it again, and it only took me an hour and a half. So I like to think that I've gotten decent at this game. By no means in anywhere near, you know, the level of quality that speedrunners have, where they could beat this game in like 3 minutes. But I decided, why not make a video just, you know, as a guide? I have not seen a video on the internet of that yet, and I provide some insight for people trying to beat this. Physics-based. You're playing this guy here, and I do know his name, but I'm not going to say it yet. It's a bit of a spoiler. And you need to use your sort of sledgehammer here. I'm just going to refer to it as a sledgehammer because that's really what it is. To sort of swing yourself up and around obstacles like so. Now we have a voiceover here, which I'll let you listen for the and just save it for your first playthrough.
If you won some money at the casino, and then put all your winnings on red, but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding, and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend, and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here.
Well, that's not what we're gonna do, Mr. Bennett Foddy. So that is the developer telling or mute this now so that you guys through for quite a while. Meet you that you can see. Wow, yeah, that'll happen sometimes too. I had it at the default, so that's oh wow, yeah, that'll happen sometimes too, where you pause the screen and then you just mess up because you've sort of got an input queued or something like that. Okay, so let's start talking about, you know, how to beat this game, which we will be doing in this video. I'm not sure how long it'll take me. Ideally, it'll take me, you know, shorter than my previous attempt, which was, like I said, about an hour and 30 minutes, which I think is pretty good for someone's second time. You know what I mean? I mean, this game, a lot of people don't ever finish it. If you look at the Steam page, this game is not out on Steam at the time of creating this video, but it will be out. He says that I forget what his terminology was, but he said that most people never even finished it in his play testing, but some people took like 5 hours. So this part's a little tricky. We're just going to launch ourselves over to the right like so. And this part is the first truly challenging part of the run so far. A lot of people have difficulty here, and I definitely did when I first played this game. It's not so hard once you get the hang of it. It's called the Devil's Chimney, but we're going to launch ourselves up. It's kind of just, it's really finicky. That's the whole thing, because the floor under here, the floor that we're on right now, is very slippery, so it's hard to get like a good traction. But that's basically what you want to do. You want to hook yourself onto that lantern, and then what I do is I just shove down with my mouse sort of as hard as possible, and it seems to be like a 50-50 chance if you can get the axe over the next one like that. But yeah, I just shove that mouse down until it sort of springs me up, and then I rest right about here. So now we're going to sort of pull ourselves up and over right onto this rock. I have seen so many people. Let me adjust my screen really quick, ladies and gentlemen. It's too close. My face is too close to the monitor. I'm going to pull this back a bit. There. It's sort of early in the morning, but I was excited. And that pretty much starts you over. So you definitely don't want to do that. Just be very careful there. That's the whole thing about this runs, and they are very hasty, but obviously if you're playing this for the first time, you're just going to screw yourself over. So this part's pretty easy just because you can't really start over unless you really mess up, but basically you're just trying to find the right angle to launch yourself. You don't have to launch yourself too. You can take it slow and sort of, slowly pull yourself up here, but this part is generally pretty easy, so it's not really recommended to take a lot of time, because all you really have to do is sort of just throw shit at a wall and see what sticks for this one. Okay, now what we're trying to do is hit the railing here. And this part is, I mean, like pretty much impossible to fall off. I have never fallen off this part. It's just a little tricky to move yourself over. Basically, yeah, we're just trying to swing ourselves across this metal pole here. Oh, now that was close. See, I could have fallen there if my sledgehammer went through here and then I swung a little bit to the right. But that didn't happen, so we're going to go ahead and move on. We're making good progress here. Now, I'm going to show you guys a skip that speedrunners do, and if you can master it, all power to you. I cannot do it. It's too hard for me, but basically what they do is they latch onto this edge of the roof right here, and they just launch themselves up, and sort of, if you saw there were things up there, they just start to grab it and start to pull themselves up, and that skips the whole section to our left, which you'll see. I'll try it one more time. I haven't even been able to like grab the, to even touch those things except for one time. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. But that is what speedrunners do. They do a little skip there. I have not been able to do it. So this part is the first part where you can really lose a ton of progress. If we fall to the left, and I guess I'll just show you. If we fall down here and to the right, there is a place, you can see that wooden plank down there, and then there's sort of a stone barrier that is your last hope. If you fall down there and hit the stone barrier and fall even more to the right, you'll go like pretty much all the way back to the beginning. So this is, this is the first spot where people really get frustrated, I think, because they can definitely lose like all their progress. Okay, now this part is going to go a little fast, just because I've always done it fast, but I'll show you a recent strategy that I figured out as well. Let's see, let's get a little bit closer to that. Yeah, and then you basically go up the wheelbarrow, and then you go up to the rake. Now, normally what I would have done here is I would have kept swinging and just, swung on top of the slide. But I'd say there's about a 20% chance that you're going to get a bad angle on the slide and then fall off to the right, which does give you a chance of, completely starting over. So what I recently learned to do this more, what's the word, to be more consistent with this, is to just prop yourself up on the rake. I don't know why I didn't pull ourselves up right here. And then as long as you get, within this little wooden area, you're fine. So there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pogo up to these boxes. It is very hard to fall on these boxes. I mean, you really have to mess up, so I don't really get scared jumping. What I like to do here is sort of hover in the middle of the air. Oh, that was a little bad, but it's it's okay. We got a second chance. Yeah, I guess I should describe what I'm doing before I actually do it. So what I like to do is hover in the middle in the air, and then swing my axe or swing my hammer into the middle of the air, like straight up, and then grab the bottom right section of boxes before I completely fall. It's going to be fast, but that's what I'm doing. So like that. And it's very rare that you'll actually fall down as long as you grab those boxes. So again, I'm hovering in the middle of the air at a nice, sort of angle that I'll just drop straight down. Fall down the little, probably easier stuff. That'll have done. Oh my god. All right, so we got it again. Okay, so what we're going to do here, this is the first. I mean, was there another? If we mess up, it's hammer sort of in the middle of these boxes, and then wedge myself to spring through that stairs, and then myself up with. Just go ahead and. That's good. Trying to just get on top of that chair. There we go. We did it. So I'll just go ahead and do it. This part can be tricky. I think that's good. Trying to just get on top of that chair. There we go. We did it. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to get right over here. You want to, like, sort of swing your hammer in constantly when you grab. Will be, ladies and gentlemen, as parts are. Okay, so once you're in this area, you're pretty much safe for a little bit. What we're going to do now is we're going to pogo off of this white chair and grab ourselves the security camera over here. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing, if it's your first time, it's going to look really easy, and it's not, as you will see. You'll probably fall. Look, you're not going to play this game and not, like, reset your progress. At least probably, like, fuck this game, your bitch. For the most part, though, don't play this game if you think that you're going to do it in one fell swoop, because trust me, you're not. All right, let's launch ourselves upwards and grab. Oh, okay. All right, that was a bad fall. Usually, like I said, you're pretty safe in this area. This part is annoying just because it seems to be dependent on the day how nice it wants to be. And I'll show you guys what I mean in a second here. So again, we're going to rest on the security camera, and we're going to launch ourselves over to the white sofa. Okay. I need to be a little bit slower here. Being too hasty. Take advice from our good friend Treebeard from The Lord of the Rings, and just don't be hasty. So, launch over, grab the white sofa. Now we're trying to launch ourselves upwards and grab. Okay, we're going a little fast here because I kind of have to. Oh man, yeah. So that's exactly why this place is tricky, is because it's really congested. Your hammer. Okay. All right, that was pretty good. Now we can pogo upwards and sort of grab this. I think we're good here. Yeah. A lot of people do this fast. Speedrunners do this fast. They do the whole game fast, but this particular part, the reason they do it so fast is because they don't have to. Oh, see what I mean? See what I mean? Yeah, you'll just start launching yourself in all sorts of different directions. Okay, so now that we're on the commode, we want to launch ourselves up and over to the right, and then pretty fast fall all the way down. Or fell down there, but you don't. Citrus, don't be scared. Thank you for not being scared. Okay, and we're gonna say no to citrus. Push that orange clean off. All right, now this was a really tricky part for my first playthrough. I'll explain two ways to do this. I call this the Wigginator table because someone donated, named Wigginator. Shout out to you. Like right around the time we got to this table. Speaking of, that security camera back there is known as the $15 security camera because two people donated, and it combined for $15. My voice didn't crack there. Don't worry about it. All right, so there's two strategies to do here. We can pogo up and then grab the rock, or we can hang off and swing. Now, traditionally, I hung off and swung around like this. Obviously, this is really scary for your first time. But see, that is exactly why. Oh my god. That's yeah. So it's been doing that to me lately, and I like the pogo more. This game is weird with strategies. Sometimes, by the way, yeah, we just fell all the way back to the start. And again, normally this would be debilitating if you're playing it. You're game before trick finicky and swinging. Guide / walkthrough is if I fail yeah, the first time you play this game, pogoing, seriously, it's tricky. Not just grab the very edge of it, where it is the most. I feel like it is more consistent for me now, but it is a little bit scarier because if you get a bad angle, obviously. you know, you can launch off to the left. And you saw if you go a little too high, you will launch off the cars, and then you have to restart pretty much all over again. So basically what we're trying to do here is pogo up and grab the rock to the right. It's all about timing, pretty much. That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the problem with these rocks is that they're pretty slippery, and this part is challenging to say the least. This is probably, I wouldn't say the trickiest part so far. It's just the, it's just like the, I don't know. I don't know how to, it's like the toughest part, if that makes sense. Like the tricky part where you have to launch yourself into the stairs and the blue wall. It's tricky, but it's like a 50-50 chance if you're going to do it or not. You know what I mean? Whereas this part, you can fall really easily. So what we need to do here is launch or pull ourselves upward and place ourselves nicely. I need to be quiet here because things can go really bad. Okay, this is pretty good. All right. Yeah, all of these rocks pretty much have a chance to send you flying to the left. Now, that's a pretty good spot to be. So, this part is by far the hardest right here. As you can see, this rock is sloped at a pretty menacing angle. What we're going to do is grab the very edge of it, where it is the most sort of flat, like right here. We're going to slowly pull ourselves up into a pogo and then launch up and grab the rock to the top right. Now, that's a lot to say, and it's an entirely different thing to do it, but you're just going to have to watch because this part is, yeah, it's very tricky and you can slip off easily. But let's do it. Oh. Yeah, see there? Okay. Yeah, this part is really, really, really annoying and fickle, and I have not been having good luck with it lately as I have been before. I'm wondering if I should just launch myself up and over this rock above me. What? No, I should not. No, I should not. Okay. All right, we didn't get a full reset. Yeah, this part, it's just, the thing is that they're really, really slippery. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I was mentioning this before. There are certain areas in this game that, you know, were fine on separate playthroughs, but are giving me a lot of trouble today and over the past couple of days, and this is one of them. This is a part that I was able to do fine before, but now it's messing me up here and there. All right, so let's. Okay, I don't like that. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. I don't like that angle that I got onto. Come on, there we go. Okay, your hammer will slide when you get to places like this, but it's okay. Because, you know, the fulcrum will change, I guess you could say. All right, now this part, yeah, seriously, it's tricky. You sort of just have to find the right balance between, you know, lifting yourself up and over, and then once you get into the pogo position, it's not that hard. I mean, you can mess it up, but if you pogo and then swing your hammer around, if you get good at doing that, it's not that difficult. I'm just wondering, is there any other way to do this? I wonder. I don't know. I think I usually do, yeah, just grab it, pull myself up, and pogo. There we go. Okay, so that's what we wanted. Now. Okay. All right, that part is very, 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 very tricky the first time you do it. It's really an annoying part. But we got it. So we're gonna wedge ourselves. This part you can kind of breathe, but you're not out of the woods just yet. We can wedge ourselves over to the right like that. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter because what we need to do now, obviously, is pogo up and grab that cat's head. The first time you play this game, pogoing can be really scary, especially because if you spaghetti it, you can clearly like push off the right side and then you'll just go to the left side and you'll have to start over again. So we're just wanting to pogo up and reach around and grab the top of this cat's head. Oh my god. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, how far are we gonna go? Down here? Alright. See you guys at the top! Alright, I got up here again pretty quickly. I'm happy with that. Yeah, usually I don't mess up this much with these different areas. This run is a little rough. It's probably because I'm recording and talking. It takes, a little bit. That being said, I mean, I was having a much easier time on stream. Anyways, here we are again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't think I failed that ever until that moment that you just saw. Now we have a bit of a trickier, same idea here, but it's a little bit trickier, but it's nothing that you can't handle. There we go. That was pretty good. And then we just got one more, and we are pretty much safe. Your hammer can wedge here, and it's really, like, sort of disheartening. You kind of just have to, move it around until it works out. Come on now. Yeah, this part can be really annoying because my hammer gets wedged in there, like, pretty much every time. Okay, now I am going to take my headphones off for, just 1 second, but I'm going to make this jump as well. Just same thing, up and over, grab it, and then pull yourself up. Jump scare, yeah. Luckily, the first time that I played this game on stream, I saw that in a clip. I didn't spoil. I beat this game the first time completely blind, except for like 2 clips. I saw a section later on, and I saw this section. So I knew that jump scare was coming the first time. Okay, so we're pretty much almost out of the clear. We just need to get up and over this bar, and we're good. So we need to grab onto that little ledge there, like so. You don't have to be too scared of this part, though, because... the ledges that they give you are pretty, as long as you take it slow, you're all good. And we can pull our axe over here. This part can be pretty tricky as well, but you want to wedge yourself right there. You want to grab sort of the edge and just up, and yeah, it'll slip down though. Yeah, this part's really annoying because it's just like, you've gotten through so much and you just want to get yourself over, but there's like one more trial and it's sort of getting up and over. There we go. All right, so once you're here, actually I should say once you're above this rock, as long as you don't spaghetti it. Okay, can you just get me over that rock, buddy? Come on. There we go. All right, here you can breathe. Unless you really, 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 really mess up, you're pretty much safe here. Now begins sort of the, I guess I would say, second half of the game. What we got through, I would consider it the first half. It's sort of, there's easy parts in this section coming up, and then there's hard parts. Everything pretty much, for the most part, coming up is easy. It's just really finicky. This rock right here, I'm not even going to say what we called it on stream because it's sort of insulting, but this, to the person that I named it after, but this part is horrible. This was a part that I was stuck on for so long just trying to get over. It's the whole point of this is it's a very precise jump. Let's see if we can get it first try. You just need to pogo up and then grab the top of the slope to the right, but it's so tricky, man. It's so you'll get jumps like that and you'll just fall back. Thank God he did not put like a drop here, because if he did, I couldn't even beat this game, because this rock is the worst in the whole game for me. This jump right here is the worst. I remember we the first time I beat this game, it took, like I said, like 12 hours and 50 minutes, something like that. And there was one stream I did where, and all of that was on stream, like literally all of it. There was one stream where it was a drunk stream, and I was literally like stuck on this rock for I don't know how long, like a straight. Still, I hate it, because like that's pretty much what you just saw, because it takes so long. It's not like there's a particular strategy. Right where I put the head of my hammer is pretty much where I jump every time, and where I hate this jump. I curse this jump so many times on stream. I think that it's just dumb, because it's not like, if you mess it up, you're going to have any serious repercussion on one specific least favorite area in pretty much the whole game. I mean, you can take most. And again, it's silly because it's like, you can't fall here. Like every jump you do, it's a perfect angle, so it takes. And I think the part coming up right after, more people, what that was. Come on. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we want to get that hat out of there too. It's just a prop. Trouble with than that rock before. I have trouble with this too, but it's not as bad. Basically what we want to do here is we want to put ourselves right on the edge of the anvil and launch hard and fast up to the top right. And as you'll see, a lot of the jumps are way too low. It's again just like the previous, and to be honest, I don't even think they need to be in the game. Wow, okay, we got pretty lucky there. So that's pretty much what you need to do. But yeah, I don't know why they're in the game, because other parts of this game are just hard. These two parts, it's not that they're hard, it's just that they're like super mega annoying because it has to be like the perfect storm. Those are the only two jumps pretty much in the whole game that I hate and detest. The anvil is not as bad as the previous one for me, but they're both bad. Anyways, moving on. What we're going to do here is we're going to pogo up and grab the rock to the right. Obviously, if you miss that, you have to do the anvil jump again, or maybe even the rock jump. Okay, so this part's tricky, but it's honestly not as hard as the previous parts. So you don't got to worry about it too much. You don't want to go up to the top right. That's a little, misleading area over there. We want to pogo over here and then grab the rock. And there's, oh my god. Okay, that's never happened before. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, calm down. Okay, yeah. There's a bunch of different strategies to do here. I'll show you what I do. It seems to be pretty consistent every time. Pogo over the sort of left edge like this, and I swing over. Okay? And you just kind of have to have faith. You will land on this snowman. I promise you. You just don't spaghetti it. Just have faith that you'll do it correctly. And you'll do it. I promise. And now you want to do the same thing for this. This one, you usually jump off like that. Yeah, that's normal, and then you sort of have to catch yourself. This one, I have heard that you need a pogo, but I don't actually know if you need a pogo or not. I'm pretty sure I have done it just by swinging over like the last ones, but I always pogo. There was a guy that was a speedrunner of this game, and he started hosting my streams when I was streaming this for the first time blind. And he said you need a pogo that one. I'm pretty sure, like I said, that I have swung over, but I pogo, and it seems to work every time. And now we just want to pogo one last time. There we go. That was, yeah, one cycle rock jump area, whatever you want to call it. Now we just want to swing. You can spaghetti here, but it's really hard to do. Just pogo and go like that. Okay. All right, we're making pretty good progress here. I'm going to take a sip of well-deserved water, I think. If you, people are still playing this game is still yet to be fully released for a guide on how I do, like I said, as spoil what that snake is. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip like I make the first jump for this bucket, like until you see me jumping for this bucket, if you don't want to know what riding the snake does. But I just want to let people know, that I'm going to spoil it now, that if you hook onto that snake, you go back to the start of the game. So there's not really any reason to do that. I did get up to this point again on my stream just to show people what would happen. But there's not really any, I don't know why you would do that. It's just kind of there, I guess, to tempt you. Well, maybe that's why it's the snake. It tempts you, like in the Garden of Eden. Oh, I never thought about that. I was like, okay, it's just a random snake, huh? Yeah, you actually don't want to ride it. So, now we're going to try to go for the bucket. This jump's really annoying. I might have to cut here as well. This jump can take, like, first try to forever. This part, I would say, honestly, no. Yeah, there's some tricky parts coming up, but this part is generally really hard. What you want to do is you want to jump up and grab the bucket and stabilize yourself in the middle. There's a way to do this where you just jump up and sort of slowly bring your axe in a windmill on top of the bucket, and that makes it so that there's no, like, it doesn't shake the bucket violently and you don't fall off. It's hard to do. I haven't really been able to do it, so we're just going to go for it. That was kind of like what I was talking about. Again, I was still sort of jittery with my axe, with my hammer swing. But see, that's what you want to do pretty much. But as you can see, it's really finicky. A lot of the time, the bucket will just, sort of bounce and you'll fall off of it. And then it'll start swinging as well, and it'll just make it harder to grab onto. This part is infinitely annoying. It's just sort of trial and error. You can get, okay, see, there we go. That's a bad angle though. Now we sort of have to swing. I'm gonna go for it anyways, but you just have to, like, sort of swing, and as you swing more and more, you'll get sort of more momentum. I'm gonna go on the next one. No, we're not getting enough momentum. I think it's because of my angle. Maybe if I pull myself. Okay, yeah, this is not gonna work out. You can pull yourself onto the bucket, but that's not gonna do what you think you want it to do. I'm gonna try like a really weird strategy here. Yeah, if you actually get on the bucket like anything, yeah, I'm just gonna, main priority here to going all the way back. Happened to me, but that is so debilitating. All right, a lot of people say you don't want to grab it on the right side like this, but I'm going to do it anyways. You're trying to get to the top right. Okay, that's way too fast. Yeah, in the middle. Stuck on. The other part is your pick. It's blue wall. Over and over and over. Grab the bucket. Okay. And far too early. All right, well, that is not. Okay. All right. Well, that is not usually how you do it, but it worked. Yeah, that bucket, you can employ a lot of different strategies for and do whatever work for you. You fall on, that's better. You don't pogo. But again, we're going to pogo. Oh my god, that was a weak pogo, man. That took me way to the top first. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Yeah, that bucket, man, it's not hard. It just takes forever for you to get a good, like, angle on it. Okay. And this begins sort of the second to last trial. I'll go ahead and spoil the trick here because a lot of people are going to come to this place like me and not realize what the hell you're supposed to do. So the thing with this part here, as you can see, it looks a bit steep, right? Like, how could you climb this? There are certain divots in this mountain, like right here. They're really hard to find, but your hammer will go into them. So what you want to do is you want to find them, pull yourself up, tilt yourself to the right, and then lower yourself down so that sometimes you'll tilt back over to the left, but that's okay. And basically that's what you're doing here. So you're basically like really gently putting your axe into these, putting your hammer into these little divots. Once you do this, a bunch of times they're easier to find. But once you find them, it's very small. It's just going to take practice because they're extremely small and you'll probably fall off a bunch of times. But when you find them, you want to sort of lower yourself in, and that's best case scenario right there, where you're tilted to the right and you're sort of in the little dip. Some of them are in weird locations, as we will see. Like this one right here, I forget where it is. And there's one that I think you have to launch yourself. Okay, so here's this one. See, it'll go in, the hammer will, and again, tilt and fall down. The reason we tilt is that if you tilt, you're going to have a better chance of not falling off to the left. These little divots are very, very small. Okay, and see, we still tilt to the left. As long as you don't put too much pressure when you're trying to find these little divots, you won't fall off to the left. You're sort of wedged in there, There's one, like I said, that's in a weird... There's one that you have to launch yourself higher to find, and I always forget which one it is. Is it this one? I could have swore. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put our... where is it? I don't want to fall off. Okay. Somehow I found it. I'm just going to, like, launch myself. That wasn't good. Yeah, so this part's just, pull myself up. Okay, let's try getting to where we... So, goes back to the left. It seems to be that when you can't find it, it's always a little bit higher, or at least one of them is, and it's probably this one. So if I can just wedge myself like that and not push myself over to the right. Okay, don't go to the right. And now it may be at the top of my reach here. Is it? No. So where is this one? I'm pretty sure it doesn't start being out of your reach until higher up. So it should be somewhere over here. Did I just miss it? It could be really close as well. Where is this one for real? Huh. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes they seem to just disappear on you. They're not actually disappearing, but... Okay. Let's try to do the fast way. I'm going to sort of just swing around again and see if I can find it. Yeah, where it is. Okay, so that worked out for us, but where... Okay, so that worked out for us, but... Again, you should be able to find, like, where they are. Okay, well, you can get... right here. There is a divot right here. Again, if there's that sort of little shadow, there is a divot, and the hammer will start to sort of like fall out of it, but you can wedge yourself in it like so. Okay, and then finally we can wedge ourselves right in the middle of this, obviously. Okay, so the first one should be really close. Yeah. Up the mountain. Tilted to the right. Now this is the last tricky part of the game, pretty much. If you can get... Okay, let's tilt. Yeah, you'll lean over to the right. Don't freak out. You'll most likely... there's maybe like a 5% chance you'll actually fall off. Okay. All right. If you can get over this part, you're golden. Pretty much. Gotta remember... Sort of. And... Or you can poke better, in all honesty. Better. Or maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to see. But you can pogo... Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pogo up and over to the right. And then... Yeah. Yeah. Now, what you can also do there is you can sort of, yeah, reach your... You can put yourself up and just did like it's... You put your edge. Pretty easy. You can still mess up, I suppose. Lift yourself up and over the shopping cart. Now, this part's pretty easy. You can still mess up, I suppose, but I have never messed up here. This is the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen, and I am so glad that I was able to record this in its entirety. It's going to be a long video, but if you stuck it out, congratulations. This is the end. All you need to do is climb this tower. And like I said, you can mess it up, I guess, but it's only if you... I mean, really, I don't ever do this. But I guess people can. My voice is cracking because it's like early in the morning and my face is all... It feels all weird. Feels like I should have woken up a little bit more before I started recording. All right, so... Yeah, you can mess this up, obviously, and just do nice angles. At the end of the day, if you know, just go from where my hammer is now and then swing like this up and around, I mean, it's going to be really hard for you to have the force to push yourself all the way to the left. So just do it smart, man. Do it smart. We're going to pogo up here and grab the right side now is what we're going to do. See, even if perch my... That's what I want. Oh, come on. Bad there. Okay. Now, swing up. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is actually, yeah, wedge ourselves. Okay. Now we can grab this little red light instead of that satellite below us. And what we're going to do here is, this is pretty much the final swing. Ooh, that's a little, yeah. All right, well, that works. Okay, we're going to pogo up and grab... As long as we grab that last one up there, we're good. Actually, I lied. We need to grab that one up there. Oh, my God. Now, to that free 100 times harder off of it. Okay. All right, so what we can do is we can pogo off of this one. Okay, now if we can just rest on this, we're done. We're done with the game. If we can just, like, rest right on top of it. Come on. Okay. Now, I think we are done, because for this one, yeah. What the game... Or do we still have to go up one more?
Oh, no.
No. We can be here. Yeah. So what we can do here, this is a little trick from the speedrunners. We can just pogo straight up and out, and we will beat the game. Like so. Yeah. Don't be scared. I know it's scary, but just you don't have to get to the very top because you could still spaghetti on the top and just screw yourself over. So you'll float up a little bit, and you'll come to this.
No.
Wait a second. Okay, I was going to say, I've never gone to the right like that. Did I just screw myself over? I'm pretty sure once you get to the floaty bit, you cannot lose the game, but I still don't know. So we're going to just get to the top of this rock, and we are going to beat the game for the third time, which was probably pretty slow. I'm going to estimate